Hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Critical Podcast. I am one of your hosts, Jimmy Good, and joining me, as always, is my go-to...
Your go-to
if you're gonna cut me off...
Podcast compadre.
God, did you get really close to the mic and, blow it out, too? What's wrong with you? Joe Lever, everybody. Not a surprise.
Hello, everyone. Hold your applause, please.
Yeah, they'll try to hold your applause. Oh, my goodness. Anyway, so instead of doing the normal, hey, Joe, how's it going thing, I thought we'd play a little game today. So today's game is going to be about animal trivia, Joe. So, my question for you, Mr. Lever. This is a carnivore that can grow upwards of 10 feet tall, has web feet, and has been known to be able to swim over 100 miles in a single stretch. What is this animal?
Polar bear.
Ding, 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 ding. You did it. Good job. That was actually really simple. Good job, buddy. He took a moment. He thought about it. I thought he was just going to start listing things up. You tried to
throw me with the web feet thing, but then their feet are...
There you go. Good job, buddy. You're killing it. You're really killing it. Good job. All right.
I'm a bit of an animal expert. Walking encyclopedia. Jack Hanna's got nothing on me.
Wow. Those are bold words. Jack Hanna's a friend of the show.
Jack Hanna? You hear me, Jack Hanna? I'm coming
He's
for you.
He's a friend of the show. All right, anyway. But so for people who may be joining us for the first time and thinking, is this all about animal trivia? Well, actually, it's not.
Give me another one, Jimmy. Come on.
No, that's all it's going to be for today. But we might do it again. I don't know. I kind of love doing it's more fun to do a little game like that, I think, as opposed to...
This is interesting. Next week, the question's for you.
Cool. Yeah, man. We can go back and forth. I don't care. But this week, we're talking all things San Diego Comic-Con. Woo! It's so much fun, San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah, they invited me. I declined. I was like,
You got an invite? I didn't. They always lose mine in the mail. They send one a few weeks later, and they're like, we lost it again. But so there was a ton of news, obviously, from San Diego's Comic-Con, and we're only going to go over a few of the biggest announcements, because if we went over every little thing, Joe and I would be here for much longer than we normally are, which is sometimes even a pretty long time. So today we're going to go over some new trailers. We got a new trailer from Justice League, and one from Wonder Woman, and one from Doctor Strange. And we're going to kind of go over the new news about the Spiderman Homecoming movie and the design for the villain there. So please be excited. But anyway, let's get right into it. Justice League trailer. Joe, I'm going to start with you here about this. I just had you watch these because you hadn't yet. What are you feeling from that, the Batman recruiting video, basically? What do you think about this new trailer?
Jason Momoa, hell yeah.
Okay.
Aquaman looks like a badass. Good job, guys. Good job, DC.
So far, all we've seen him do, though, is pin Bruce Wayne against a wall and have a bunch of water get thrown in his face. So we haven't really seen him do anything yet.
Yeah, they're not showing too much. We don't want another Jurassic World episode where all of a sudden you see the whole movie before you're even there.
Well, it's still got a year. It comes out next November, Joe, so they probably don't have any special effects done yet. They probably just shot all this stuff, and they're like, let's show something for Comic-Con quick. I think that's when they said it was going to come out, so that's probably why there wasn't a lot of stuff besides the Flash Batman interchange.
Yeah, which the Flash, he seems like a cool character. Casting choice is pretty good there, I think. I thought it'd be somebody with maybe blonder hair for some reason. I don't know, whatever. Barry Allen and the CW show, they're similar.
I thought they nailed it with the Barry Allen on the Flash on the TV show. Personally,
for sure. The one in the movie, I think he's gonna have to prove himself a bit, but his acting so far, it seemed all right. Kind of teenage kid, kind of. Say no more. I'm in.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, he's just
really. Yeah, I need friends.
He seemed kind of neurotic, or it seemed like there was something going on with him. Did you get that?
A little bit. And I'm fine with that. I think it makes it a little interesting.
Sure. Yeah, he's got weird tics.
I'm down for that.
Sure.
Jason Momoa though as Aquaman, I think that's going to be pretty awesome.
Sure.
He has the off-putting attitude, that they kind of show off in this little trailer, and he denies Batman, says no or whatever, and he's kind of like a hard ass against the grain kind of guy. I think that's going to be good.
Yeah,
I really do. So I'm excited for that. Plus, character we haven't really seen in the big screen to this level yet.
Sure, yeah.
So I'm excited for that. Batman, Ben Affleck. Hey, he's doing good. You know, he was in the Batman vs Superman movie, and he did a good job there. Pleasantly surprised me. So, hopefully, more good stuff from him. Loving the Batman costume, the revision to it for these new movies. I like it. And will we see the Man of Steel?
No, he's dead, man. Dead forever.
Okay.
Keep it together, Joe.
Anywho, yeah.
We have hundreds of tens of people
Wonder
watching.
Woman still looking good. And yeah. Kind of cool.
You don't sound very
I don't know.
jazzed on it. You don't sound very hyped, I should say.
I am.
Okay.
I mean, it's not a lot to go on quite yet.
Sure.
You know, who are we going for? I think Evil's coming or something like that. Darkseid.
I think it's Steppenwolf first, and then it's going to be Darkseid.
Steppenwolf.
Which none of us knew Steppenwolf really before this, I don't think. Now it's just like everybody knows who he is now. But
Yeah, but so what are your thoughts on the trailer? Things you liked, didn't like?
Okay, I'll go with the positives first. It's nice to see Aquaman. Obviously, it would be cooler to see him like a better shot of like his full body armor or him doing something, because at the end there they kind of tease the part where Bruce is like, oh, I hear you talk to fish, and myself and I'm sure others thought like they're gonna cut to a scene of like him like telepathically communicating with like a great white that just like comes out of the water and takes a dude out or something. I thought that would have been really like a great like end to the trailer, but I still like seeing him. I thought his contact things were actually kind of cool, kind of engaging. I was like, oh, it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, interesting.
It was nice to see. We see Cyborg for the first time, like in the, like, you see him like he's at university or whatever, and you kind of see him going around later on with the team. You only get a little bit here and there from him, so we don't have a lot to go on yet. But
that's the only thing I picked out of all these trailers, is that I can tell it hasn't been, final touch-ups haven't been done.
Sure.
Like, it was quickly put out there, because I noticed some CGI was a little iffy.
oh yeah, which
like,
CGI?
Cyborg didn't look quite good.
Okay, fair enough. I guess I didn't really.
It wasn't
think
quite
about
on point. It seemed kind of like very smooth and fake looking. And then same thing, I think there was one shot where they show the Flash in his suit, and his suit looked kind of fake as opposed to some of the artwork we saw,
Sure.
weeks back. So
Yeah. Well, I'm not really completely. That's wasn't a point of contention for me, but I understand. If I look back at it again, maybe I'd be like, that's weird. I like Wonder Woman and Batman having like a back and forth. And that's kind of a romance that I would love to see kind of come to fruition, even though it doesn't normally in the comics and stuff. But you already have Lois Lane for Superman, and unless she dies, fingers not crossed, wink wink, I like their kind of their interchange. But this, Joe, to me, this trailer felt very Ocean's 11 or something like that. Like they're kind of like,
a little bit.
It's kind of like punchy and like, oh, like he's not going to join the team, but he definitely will. And it's like, we need another guy. Do you think we need another guy? Okay, we're going to get one more guy. It's like,
what do you think about this one?
Exactly. So all that was good. The Flash scene, that was alright. I like it looks really good. One interesting comment that one of my favorite podcasters, Mr. Sunday Movies, had pointed out, said that this Flash can step into the Speed Force, which is like something that typically a lot of the Flash can't really do. He usually has to like run really fast and get into it, but he just like steps 1 foot into it, and he's like there, like all that blue lightning behind him and stuff. He's like, he's not just super fast, like watching it slow motion, which they easily could have done that too, which would have been kind of cool without the electricity in the back. He just kind of was like, whoop, go up. But that's all good.
That was cool.
One big problem I had with this, Joe, this is going to come up later, probably again too, but the music choice. Icky Thump or whatever, why? It's like,
I was alright with
no, dude, it's not. They're trying to make this cool, like legitimately epic film, and they've got just like, it's just like, come on, guys, you could pick up any cool song, and it just.
Icky Thump by the White Stripes.
I think so.
Right?
I think you're right.
Yeah, Jack White.
Yeah, and I don't have a problem with the song itself. I just didn't like the implementation of it personally.
Yeah, see, to me, it gave it more of that Ocean's 11 feel.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying.
Which I think puts a neat spin on it, and I
Sure.
kind of enjoy it a bit.
But that works for an Ocean's 11 trailer, I think, as opposed to the most powerful people in the universe potentially getting in like a group. Like, come on, do something better. I'm sorry, I had a problem with that. It took me right out of the trailer.
What would you have wanted?
I wouldn't have wanted any song that's recognizable like that, you know? It'd be like...
So what are you talking, like orchestra?
Yeah, I'd probably do something like... We're going to get to Doctor Strange later, but that one, is just kind of like your classic trailer song. But I like that one because it doesn't take me out of the trailer itself. I'm not thinking like, oh, there's this song and the stuff I'm seeing on screen. It's like one cohesive vision. But with this Justice League trailer, I felt like, oh crap. When that first came on, I was like, come on, guys. Like, and then they show the Justice League like logo and they blare the music. I'm like, what's that, like your theme song? Like every time you land the Batmobile or the Batplane, it's like, it's like, no, don't do it. Come on. It'd be one thing, it'd be better, Joe. It's kind of like how, Iron Man loves AC/DC and like Black Sabbath and stuff, and he'll play that once in a while when he's doing something, like in Avengers he plays it. That would make more sense to me if like Iron Man was getting the Avengers together in a trailer, because that's the music he'd play. But it's like, Bruce Wayne, is he a fan of freaking the White Stripes? Like,
Maybe he is.
Maybe he is. He doesn't seem like it. He's very brooding. Doesn't sound like the band to me. I don't know.
Wow. What band should we give Bruce Wayne?
I don't know. What band do you... I think he'd say, I don't like music.
Probably some Katy Perry.
He hates opera because his parents were shot off after an opera.
Do you ever feel like a plastic bag floating in the wind? Yeah, I give up.
Joe, what are you doing? That was beautiful. My gosh, Joe. Why are we podcasting? You should
Batman driving real fast in his Batmobile. You're a firework.
Do you think Batman would ever listen to music while driving around? Like, does he listen to, like, Fuel by Metallica? Like, Batman vs. Superman, he's, like, chasing after those guys. He's like, give it fuel, give it fire, give it that. He's driving really fast. He's like, yeah, Batman.
Nah, I'd throw on something a little more hardcore.
Oh, yeah? Like a little Slipknot or something? He's probably heavy metal, but he doesn't want to talk about it. Like he does his workouts.
Yeah, like he was in a heavy metal before it was cool.
Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, not a horrible trailer. Obviously, it's very early, and it's kind of, I think it's not nice of them, but I like the fact that we're getting this type of information a lot earlier than we normally would. Again, this movie is more than a year out, so we're going to be waiting a long time for this.
Yeah.
So.
However, guys, keep it mysterious.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't want to know everything. I don't.
Yeah, exactly. Like, please, I know it's like, they're probably going to have to show Superman, Joe, at some point, but I hope they don't show it in a trailer. It's like a Gandalf scenario all over again. I love Lord of the Rings, but they completely, when you watch the Two Towers again, like the trailers, botch the whole movie. It's like, here it is. Here's all of it. You're like, oh, well, that's good. In like a 2-minute span.
You know what I want them to do for any of the trailers that come out?
What?
A picture of his grave.
Sure. Yeah, that wouldn't be bad. That would be a really
shot
good
of his grave, or
Yeah.
maybe like, the team kind of looking at his grave, or
They're
maybe
all-
Batman visiting the grave.
They're all in costume, standing and just staring at the grave. It's just one trailer, one long, like 360 shot. They're just all like,
No, I don't know. It'd be cool to give it a nod. Don't forget Superman's in the ground, guys. So maybe like a scene with Ben Affleck in a black trench coat, standing there, dropping a rose or something for the guy.
He's like, I wanted to kill you, but our mothers had the same name, and he just drops the rose.
Yeah. I wanted to kill, or no, pours a little whiskey on it, little drink for my homie.
That's
okay.
horrible.
That was a joke.
That's really
that was
bad.
a joke. But no, I want to see them nod at the grave. Like there's Superman's body in that grave. But I don't know. Do they hint? With an end scene to the trailer of, the grave, the dirt movie.
No, we already had that at the end of Batman vs. Superman. We already saw that, Joe.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, we don't need it again. We don't need it.
But so I want the grave featured in a trailer.
Joe's like, I need the grave.
To kind of show that Superman, Man of Steel is part of this.
What you could do is kind of that tease where you show like everyone kind of turns and looks, and you just kind of see a red cape go in front of the camera and then cut it. Where you'd be like, oh, it's got to be him, but if it's really fast, I don't know. Would that be okay?
No, it could be somebody else in a red cape, right? Yeah. Just keep it mysterious. It's all I want.
Does Martian Manhunter have a red cape? I don't think so. He has a blue cape. Yeah.
Does he even have a cape?
He does. It's a blue cape. Because I was gonna say, Joe, a while ago they were saying unite the 7. So we've got, assuming Superman comes back to life, you got that. You got Batman. You got Wonder Woman. So the big 3 there. Aquaman, Flash,
Cyborg,
and Cyborg. Who's the 7th member? Is it Martian Manhunter?
I
want it to be Martian Manhunter.
Are we gonna see Oreos in the trailer? A crushed Oreo.
Oh yeah, I forgot he's like a big fan of Oreo. I was like, Joe, this is really like. Joe's like, all right, here's what we do. We get a grave. See, we get to just shoot the grave, and someone's eating Oreos in front of the grave.
Oh yeah. Or we see an Oreo that's half eaten left on the headstone.
Okay, that's like too niche. Like you'd only be able to show that at a con because like everyone else would be like, okay, is this like some weird product placement for Oreos? Like Nabisco or whoever's like, all right, we're gonna get real big time now. We put our cookies all over Superman's grave. Cookie crumble. No. But yeah, I'm hoping it's Martian Manhunter. I'm trying to think. Oh, actually, Joe, I lied. It's gonna be the Green Lanterns because the Green Lantern Corps movie is coming.
Oh yeah, shoot, screw that guy.
Yeah, and it might be up to 3 of them. I don't know.
I'm just kidding.
We'll see. Anyway, we'll say it's a pretty good trailer though, Joe. Overall pretty good.
It is, yeah. Clearly, kind of, it's an early teaser, so it wasn't fine-tuned, so to speak.
Sure.
Because I did pay attention to the details. There
Sure
needs a little bit of cleanup. But
yeah,
it was still good. And the main thing I was worried about is I want to see what Aquaman's capable of. Do they make him into a compelling, badass character?
Yeah, right now
I'd say so far they're on the right track.
Yeah.
I think they've got it.
He's just splashing himself in the face with water right now, Joe. We gotta see him do something.
Yeah, like he's constantly taking showers.
He's like, I smell.
He sits in the bath a lot for hours.
Dude, you're rhyming over there now too, man. You're all over it tonight, singing poetry, walking encyclopedia,
showers and sits in the bath for hours. Oh,
nice.
I'm good.
All right, so we're gonna move on to the next trailer here. Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman finally got a trailer for her standalone film. And I'm actually gonna. I have some things I want to say first, Joe, before I let you get into it. This trailer, like when they announced the Wonder Woman thing being in World War I was like, ah, man, what the heck? This is gonna be so weird. I'm probably not gonna like it very much. I will say this: the trailer has, in a little way, swung me around where I'm like, this could be pretty cool, and it was very reminiscent of Captain America: The First Avenger to me, and I'm sure many others, where you take this person who's more powerful than anybody else and put him back in a war. The only problem I have with it is that Wonder Woman, I like that they gave her more color in her outfit, but she's just so distinguishable on the battlefield. Maybe that's a good thing, but she's wearing like her yellows, her reds, her blues, and she's running across just like this gritty, dark battlefield. It's like, I mean, she's doing it though, and she has a few scenes, it seems like, that are kind of similar to how Batman fought in Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice, that kind of warehouse scene. It looks like she's going to be fighting some soldiers in there, and it's, she's not gonna... Yeah. It's going to be pretty cool, I think. I'm actually pretty excited about this movie, which I'm surprised about.
It looks to be pretty action-packed, and it seems like they show a lot of Amazonians.
Yes, which, Joe, a while ago there was a rumor that they were a descendant from Kryptonians, but I don't think they are. But I will say that kind of first shot you get of them does remind me of Krypton a little bit. Like that kind of council area they're all around. Oh, I was like, it kind of reminds me of them a little bit. But
so basically this is like a precursor to when she helped them fight Doomsday in the most recent movie.
Yeah, for sure. Many years ago.
So this is like going way back, blast from the past, where Wonder Woman started. So basically this is the movie that should have came out 3 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. Well, this one predates like this time, our current time, by like 100 years.
Yeah, so. Yeah. Well, it was World War One, right?
Late teens, yeah, baby.
Like. Yeah. So looking at it, I love it. It looks action packed, and looks like they're gonna go through a couple timelines. Because it seems like there's one where they're fighting on horseback in, like, Roman era.
No, that's all World War I think. I think it's just that time period.
Oh, so they ride horses in on the beach at somewhere? Or...
Yeah, I think so. And some of that stuff...
I forget. I didn't see who they were tackling.
I think the Amazonians were riding horses, too, so that might have been on their home island, which I forget exactly where that's located, but they're, old school, so they probably would be doing some of that.
Do you know who the actor was? The guy that washed up on the beach and she discovered?
Yeah, Chris Pine, guy from Star Trek. And
that's
many
him.
other things.
Yeah, okay.
He's good. He's
cool.
good.
He looks a lot older.
All right.
Didn't he look kind of older in that?
Maybe. Sure. I've heard like things where he's going to have like a descendant who's like in the modern day potentially. So like he might just be recast as like his own grandson kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm my great grandpa's twin.
Well, why would he say that? That doesn't make any sense. Joe, you're doing so well with the singing and the poetry, or the rhyming, and now you're out. But yeah, it's Chris Pine. I think it was smart to have someone who's kind of recognizable alongside Gal Gadot for this thing, because it's like they're not resting it completely on her this entire movie. Because you can rest a lot of that on Chris Pine now too. You can kind of
True. Yeah. More star power shoulders to rest the weight of this film on.
Sure.
Which is good.
Which, like, unlike kind of Captain America, which in some ways was kind of a little more ensemble cast, because in the beginning you had, like, Stanley Tucci, who I really love, and then you have, weirdly enough, Tommy Lee Jones is in that movie. He's like a general in Captain America. I'm like, how did you get Tommy Lee Jones to do this? But
seriously?
Yeah, and he's actually pretty good.
Pamela Anderson's ex-husband?
Wait, what?
No.
Oh my gosh, Joe. You don't know what's going on with you. Joe's losing it.
I'm so sorry.
Joe, fact check
Tommy
this.
Lee from
No, Tommy Lee Jones. Tommy Lee Jones.
Okay.
You know, from such movies as The Fugitive.
I'll take your word for it.
He played Two-Face.
Yes. I'm so sorry, I forgot.
Yeah.
Yep, I know exactly what you're talking
You
about.
gotta cage these
Who's
thoughts.
who's the drummer from Motley Crue?
Is that Tommy Lee? Is it just Tommy Lee?
Just Tommy Lee?
I don't know. Anyway,
I'm embarrassed that I forgot that, but okay.
so it looks like
on.
this movie. But getting back to Wonder Woman, I
Wonder who?
Wonder who? Yeah, shut up. But yeah, I'm excited. I think it's going to be a lot better than I thought it was going to be. When they originally announced Gal Gadot for this, they had a lot of weird casting calls for Batman vs Superman. I was like, I don't know if I see her as Wonder Woman. But after that, this past movie, I thought she did a really good job, and I'm excited to see her do more, because I felt like she was horribly underutilized in that film. She just kind of came in at the last second and was like, I'm here. Let's fight.
True. But they kept her kind of mysterious and stuff, because there's more to come on the end. She's getting her own movie now and all that. So
yeah,
I was kind of okay with it, but I agree with
it. Should have, like you said though, it should have come before that. It should have been like Man of Steel and then Wonder Woman movie and then like a Batman movie and then Batman vs Superman. That would have been great, I think.
Yeah, I think it builds up a bit more, and then they could have gone all that much more grander with that Batman vs Superman.
They're gonna say Justice League. I was like, yeah, they probably could have gotten a better song. Oh, come at me, DC. Come get some.
The song for this one was good, by the way. I can barely remember it after watching the trailer, but I remember when I was watching it, it felt good.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember it myself.
It was mostly instrumental.
Sure. Yeah, I think that's the
wasn't
smart
quite
move.
as overpowering as Hickey felt.
Yeah, well, actually, if they would have done that, it would have kind of been like the new Battlefield 1 game that had that trailer that had like a more modern day rap song to it, and that's really weird to do for like an old war movie. Or like Assassin's Creed did that recently with like that. It's like a Kanye song. It's like, guys, what are you doing? It's like we're going back to the past.
It's all right, it brings a modern day into a more historic.
You shut your mouth. It's horrible, especially the Kanye song in Assassin's
Creed. So this
Creed.
is where Jimmy and I can agree to disagree. Sorry, guys.
We're not agreeing.
Let us know what you think.
We're not agreeing on
Comment
anything.
below.
We're moving on though, unless you have anything else you want to say about Wonder Woman. Seems pretty good.
Dang girl, what's up, mama? That's all I got to say.
Also, by the way, the guy who plays Stryker, William Stryker from X-Men Origins Wolverine, is like, he's probably going to be the bad guy. He looked like looked like the guy she was going to go assassinate. She was kind of in that party with that blue dress and she had that sword. I've heard rumors he might be Ares, like the god of war, in like a human form. It's one of Wonder Woman's villains, I guess. I don't know a lot about Wonder Woman.
So they're mixing in some Greek gods with this, huh? And she was created by Zeus?
Yeah, that's how the Amazonians kind of work. They have like that Greek mythology built into them.
So DC owns rights to the Greek gods now?
I don't think they own rights, because you look at Marvel and they've got like Norse mythology. They also have Greek mythology in there too. So,
for example,
I think Ares is also in Marvel somewhere too. I
was getting confused.
Hercules. I know Hercules is for sure. Hercules is for sure in the Marvel stuff. They've got a guy named Hercules. He's a hero, I think.
Oh,
yeah.
So I always get them confused. But there's Roman gods and Greek gods. They're all very similar, but go by different names.
Yeah, I usually just branch them in the Greco-Roman, but there's probably someone out there who knows very specifically.
But don't the Roman ones just mimic the Greek, only they're planetary names?
Oh, you're probably right, Joe, where it's like Mars and stuff and Jupiter.
Yeah.
I always, I gotta say this, Joe, side topic. Polytheism, like religion with many gods, those are usually really fascinating to me. That's why
They are.
Besides
yeah,
that, the Norse and like the Egyptian stuff, it's really cool because it's like you don't have one god to pray to. You're like, I'm praying to this specific god for this thing. You're like going to war. You're like, Ares, come on, baby, pump me full of the good stuff. Like, yeah, because that's what they said back then. I'm paraphrasing.
I'm on this team today. Screw the other ones.
I'm on this team today. Joe's like ready to be a turncoat tomorrow. That's great.
I'll be back, Zeus. I'm going with Poseidon over here today.
It's like, is he not going to...
a bit of boating.
Thought you're not going to come up with any names there. Just be like,
yeah, drawing a blank.
Yeah.
Here. Sorry.
Anyway, but Wonder Woman looks pretty good. And the last trailer I kind of want to get into today was the Doctor Strange trailer. Because we've seen a little bit here and there, but now we finally got like a fully fleshed out trailer that shows a lot, but still I have no idea what's going on, which I love. If you're going to show a lot, make sure I'm still confused, because I don't want to be like, I know it all. So
all I can keep thinking about is, okay, first of all, listeners, you guys got to go check out the trailers to kind of compare them to what we're saying.
Sure, I'll probably
like to hear your feedback on these, but
I'll link them down below.
Yeah, good idea. So this one, Doctor Strange is intriguing to me, but I'm not amped up about it yet.
Okay.
I mean, it seems pretty epic, a film of epic proportions, but I can't. Yeah, like you said, you can't tell what's going on, and all I can think about is Inception.
Oh yeah, I get that.
I see these basically cityscapes that are being turned over on themselves like a Rubik's Cube, and I'm just like, so what's the main issue here? Is he just lost in a Rubik's Cube of cities and trying to figure out how not to get crushed or something? What's going on?
That's the whole movie right there. He gets in and he's like, how do I get out?
Most of the intense scenes are just him with a little green circle pentagon thing looking intensely at it. So I'm intrigued, but I until I know more, I'm not gonna be like, oh my god, Doctor Strange. I don't.
Sure.
Can you expand on it a bit? What do you think? What are your thoughts?
I actually, out of all these trailers, and it's probably like the Marvel fanboy me, I think it's the most interesting one of them all. I think it's the one that, it takes something like Inception that we've seen before, but kind of turns it a little bit and changes it. Like, no one else has really done an Inception thing, which I'm surprised, that no one else has tried something like that. But I love all the effects. I love that Marvel's finally injecting magic into that world, which I typically have a problem with magic because, like, something like Warcraft, for instance, you'll have a mage who can do a move like in that movie, and then I'm like, why doesn't he just use that all the time? It's like, well, it wears him out. Like, I don't know power levels. Like in Tony Stark's suit, when it dies, like when it runs out of energy, I'm like, all right, I get that. Like the battery ran out. But like with Thor's lightning, I'm like, can't you use that constantly? But with this, I'm pretty excited to see like all this stuff because Doctor Strange can kind of do like anything he wants, which is really interesting.
Yeah, so I don't know his limitations yet. As far as I know, all he can do is bend space and time.
Yeah, he can do like a ton of stuff.
You said something interesting, Jimmy. So how does he apply to the world? How does he apply to the Marvel Universe? What is his role and what effects does he have on, say, the Avenger team?
Oh, excellent question, Joe. But I don't know all of it. I'll say this much. He has a very profound effect. He becomes one of the biggest members of the Avengers. He joins up with the group I love to call... I think he's part of the group called the Illuminati. It's like the shadow group of like the most powerful and most intelligent people in the Marvel universe, and they make like big decisions. They were like the ones who shot Hulk off the planet that one time. Like they made that decision, which is kind of cool. He's very powerful. He's helped them many, many times, and he's just like one of the Avengers like best people on the team. He's like a Scarlet Witch kind of character, where it's like, but even more so than what we've seen Scarlet Witch do in it right now, because he has a bunch of items that can do a bunch of stuff. He can do a bunch of stuff, and his powers are basically limitless. So you have to put him up against people who have kind of similar powers, like that mystical, magical stuff.
Yeah. So what about the gemstone guy?
The gemstone guy. Yeah.
Red.
Oh, you're talking about the Vision?
The Vision. Stupid name. Anywho.
Sure.
I'm sorry.
I don't know. I was gonna say we can't get angry about what it was made like in the 60s or something.
The Vision. Anywho. Hi, I'm here.
Maybe they had a vision of him
nice
and they're like, oh, I had a vision when I was sleeping.
I'm gonna call you Vision because I had a vision of you the other day. Anywho. what about him? How does somebody like him compare to Doctor Strange?
That's a really good question, Joe. So the weird thing about the Vision is that he obviously right now has like that gem in his head, which is an Infinity Stone. Those are basically limitless in power, but he can only do a few things. Like he can fly, he's got the super strength, he can phase through things, but he can't like create different realities or anything like that with this specific gem. Like if you have all the gems, you can start to do crazy stuff like Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange can kind of do anything, potentially.
And his power comes from magic that he learned, or is something within him that he had?
It's a little bit of both. Apparently, what they have been saying about this one, and maybe in the past too, is that anybody, like you or I, could go and learn this stuff right now, but it just like it resonates more with some individuals. It's not like, say, the Force, like where you have it or you don't. It's like everybody could learn it. It just takes time, and some people it clicks with easier, and some people they take years, and they can only do like a little something or other. So. Yeah, but I don't know. It just looks like an insanely fun time. I think it's going to be really cool. I'm still not sure about the whole Benedict Cumberbatch's American accent. We'll have to see how that plays out going down the line there for a whole movie. Because he didn't talk a lot in the trailer. I think they're kind of like easing that back. And typically, Doctor Strange, to cast his spells, has to yell out this crazy enchantment for a lot of them. I don't know if they're going to do that. I'm kind of hoping they do a little bit to kind of, pay a homage to the comic, but we'll see. But you're not really stoked on Doctor Strange, huh? He says
Until I see more, I'm not going to be like giddy about it. But I'll admit, trailer, excellent, of the utmost quality, casting choice, great. It seems like it's going to be insanely intense. So in some aspects I'm amped about it, but I guess you could say I don't have enough knowledge of the character to be like, oh my god, awesome. Mm-hmm. But I know that once I go see it, I'm going to become a little enthralled with it because it seems really cool. Yeah. So, yeah, the aspects of the movie that they've shown off thus far are what have me hooked.
Okay, fair enough. I think for me, at least for these 3 trailers, I think it was just like the best done trailer in itself, not for the content that was in it, but just the best paced and kind of ramps up, has a little joke at the end, and then shows something else, whereas like the Justice League one had a joke at the end and nothing happened, where I wanted to see that Aquaman get a great white shark out of the water and kill somebody. He's like, oh, I had to talk to fish or whatever, but and the Wonder Woman one's still pretty good, but I don't know, I just think this one is pretty interesting. There's a lot more I don't know about it, and even if they show me a lot, which they have, I'm still like, I don't know what's going on. With everything else, I can kind of guess those other trailers where I'm like, I can kind of figure what's going on. Wonder Woman kind of. Justice League was very straightforward. There wasn't like, what's this, what's that? It's like, yeah, I can kind of guess. So I thought as far as trailers go, Doctor Strange for me wins it, and I'm super excited for that film because that's a hard sell to people. It's kind of like how Thor was back in the day. It's hard to sell this kind of magical person that no one really knows about, and then after this movie, he'll be kind of a household name. So
yeah. True.
Yeah, but I'm excited. Dormammu's not going to be in this one, but I love Dormammu. He's a really cool demon guy. I think once they get into more of the crazy villains for Doctor Strange, Joe, you'll be much more interested in the franchise. You'll be like, okay, sweet, this is really cool. So, one day, Joe. But yeah, well, that's the trailer breakdowns we have. And there were more. There's like Star Wars stuff in there too. But we went over Star Wars last week, so I'm not. We did. You don't have to go over that again. But I want to get to this picture I sent you of Spider-Man Homecoming, where Spider-Man is facing off against the Vulture. Got confirmed. Yeah. The Vulture's going to be in this movie. I'm pretty sure Michael Keaton will be playing the Vulture. I think they said he's going to be playing a villain in this film, and that's the one that we see. He's either going to be the Vulture or like Green Goblin, but I'm pretty sure he's going to be Vulture at this point. Looking at the design, Joe, I'm
trying to picture who Michael Keaton is.
He played Batman a long time ago.
Yeah, seriously?
He played Birdman recently, so they're probably like, we have to cast him as the Vulture because he knows how to play a bird or a bat. Like, he knows how to fly. So looking at the concept, Joe, what do you think about that? Because I wanted to get your take on it because your artistic eye.
So, looks like picture Call of Duty with the mech suits they have.
Sure.
And they've got the limbs that are like, they have like hinged, reinforced robotics on their limbs. That's the Vulture. And he's got 3 talons that like frame around his boot.
Yeah.
Looks like they're hinged so he can claw into things and grapple things. Pretty cool. So I'm assuming that those parts of his suit give him some superhuman abilities, some strength and whatnot, and dealing some damage.
But what do you think?
Wings?
What do you think about it? You don't have to explain it to us. Tell us what you
I am, because it's kind of giving me a way to dissect it a little bit and give the viewers a bit of a insight on it. I guess
I'll link it down below so they don't have to be like, what are they looking at?
So then he's got these large kind of sub-mechanical wings with the mechanical supports and whatnot, and some sort of, I don't know. It's interesting. Large wings, helmet, glowing eyes, green, the main color here. He's got like the fur cuff around his neck.
Yeah, man. It gets cold up there.
Yeah, all the Spider-Man villains are slightly gimmicky. They're like based off of like, okay, we got a Rhino, we got a Vulture.
Dare you. No, they're not gimmicky.
I know they're very iconic, but then we got a Lizard, and it's like, okay, it's like we just looked at the animals out on the TV and said, all right, I'm gonna make a villain off.
Well, he's
animal.
Spider-Man. He should fight other animals.
Yeah, it's all animals in this
Okay,
one.
how about Batman, dude? You got Penguin, you got Killer Croc. I mean, come on, man. We could play this game with anybody, really.
Joker.
Okay. Dude, okay. How about Electro?
I know.
Shocker.
But it's
Green
clear
Goblin.
that
Venom.
People
Carnage.
doing these comics back in the day got a lot of inspiration out of the Animal Kingdom, apparently. Well, because what's more menacing than something with talons and a beak and evil looking than a vulture? Yeah, I get it. So, needless to say, looks pretty cool. Looks very cool. I just want to know what the motivation is. What happened to this poor vulture, man?
Well, we're going off of just a picture right now, so we can't really glean it. I'm sure there's like the comics we could look back and be like, he's typically like an old man who hates Spider-Man for some reason, or tries to, I don't know if he tries to rob banks or anything. You think a vulture would be kind of bad at robbing a place, but maybe he
tries to eat people, preys on hobos in the
probably prey on the dead
alleyways.
People, right? That's what a vulture does.
Yeah, well, hobos are dang near dead half the time, aren't they?
It's like a weird twist here on the podcast tonight. I'm going to tell you what I think about it now, because it's hard to follow up with you. I do like the furry cuff thing. I think that's kind of funny. And typically in the past, Joe, he kind of has more like a feather suit. I don't understand how that old one used to work. He used to just be like, I don't know if he was gliding more so, like he'd get up to a high place and jump and glide. But this one looks like an evil Quinjet from like S.H.I.E.L.D. or something. They have those kind of like those planes that have like helicopter blades in the wings.
Is that what I'm seeing? Kind of on his right wing.
Yeah,
there? It looks like there's some sort of propeller behind.
Yeah, like a fan blade, part. I think. So he can hover and spot, which is cool because how else if he has a confrontation where like Spider-Man's on the wall and he wants to talk to him, like if he tried to stop flying, you have to keep like going in circles. You're like, I'll get you, like he's going around the building.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So yeah.
But to me, that all translates into a big, bulky guy that can't go into small spaces.
He's not going to need to, man. This is going to be a feast for the eyes, Joe. These two are going to be fighting around outside New York City, the concrete jungle. This guy's got a weaponized backpack, which is weird because when you think of someone like the Falcon, who we've seen now, it's like that. The Falcon's got so much utility. Like he could turn his wings into a shield. He's got like missiles on the back. He's got like the little scouting thing. So they're going to have to make this like pretty good to fight Spider-Man.
That's true.
Yeah, and I hope they make a joke because, Spider-Man fought Falcon in Civil War, and it would be really great if he's like, I've already fought a dude who can fly. Like, it's not a big deal, or something like that. Yeah. Like, that'd be pretty good.
Jimmy, there's something to be said for a biological villain. Like when
Sure.
you think when I think of I'm worried for Spider-Man, or I think that this villain is the most ominous I've seen, I'm actually scared when it shows up and bursts through the wall and starts killing people. For example, the lizard guy, even though I wasn't a big fan, or somebody more like Venom.
Yeah, what about him?
Something of that nature. The fact that it's more alien and biological and monstery. That's scary. That's a villain that I'm actually, worried about our hero for.
Sure.
So sometimes these guys in a little outfit and some sort of mechanical thing to help them fly around don't always do it for me. But I know Marvel's going to do a good job. They'll throw something in there to make him, a big bad. So
yeah. Well, also, he's a 15-year-old kid in high school. You got to remember that. So, his first outing probably shouldn't be against Venom, because if he beats Venom as a 15-year-old, you're like, well, what else do you have to fight later on where you're like, this is terrifying and powerful? It's like, right now you have to be like, it's powerful, but he's just an old dude in, with a backpack, or something, at this point.
True.
You got to work his way up.
Maybe they'll do something more detective style to it, too, like Peter finding clues and that sort of thing, because he's young. It doesn't have to be just... Yeah. Spider-Man inadvertently killed my family. I'm going to kill him.
Yeah, exactly. I just really hope, against all odds, and this is a little off topic, but I hope they don't show his origin anymore. I think what they had said that they were, Marvel's like, yeah, we're not really going to show that off, which is good. Just get right into it. Get him. It's Peter in high school. He's got his powers. Let's go. Don't.
So next question, Jimmy.
Uh-oh.
Oh, and I agree with you, by the way. Next question. Is this going to take place at his high school homecoming dance?
Yeah, so what I've heard, I don't think it's just gonna be the dance. Yeah, just one movie at one dance.
I'm taking my girl to the dance. Yeah, oh, hey, we're jiving out here on the dance floor. Yeah, go DJ, go. And then all of a sudden, Vulture, right in the middle of the dance floor.
Quick question: was that supposed to be Peter Parker that you were talking about right there? Who was like, yeah, DJ, go? Was that? Is that Pete? Okay. Just trying to make sure so everyone at home...
Yeah, that was my best Pete impression. You got a problem with it?
Nah, man, it's on point. Yeah, I don't know why it's called Homecoming right now, but I do know what they said. It was going to balance his high school career with, the responsibility of being Spider-Man. And, this will be kind of the third time very recently that we've seen that. The thing I liked a lot about Sam Raimi's first film is, he did that in the first bit, and then he went right to college. He wasn't I'm always in high school. Which I think Peter Parker is typically, or Spider-Man's in high school, obviously for 4 years, but they focus on that more in the comics. But I think getting this first movie done with high school, I hope he isn't in high school every year, or every time a movie comes out. It's not like he's like, it's my junior year now, yippity skip, or because I'm going off your Peter Parker impression. But
you failed.
I'm sorry, I screwed up.
Jimmy Good, you have failed this city.
Thanks, Oliver Queen.
Just kidding.
So depressing. But yeah, I think it's cool, and I know that you're gonna have Robert Downey Jr. is gonna be in there as Iron Man. I don't know how much he's gonna be in there, but I think that dynamic between the two of them is fun to see. I hope he.
I guess I didn't think about that. If he's in there, that'll add a cool aspect to it.
Yeah, I'm hoping we get 2 scenes at least. One where they meet face to face, and maybe another one when he's fighting him, and Tony pops up in the heads up display, and he's like, "Hey kid, what are you doing right now? You need my help?" And he's like, "No, I'm doing just fine." He's just getting punched and beat up. He's like, "I'm doing just fine." I think that'd be kind of cool. Also, I want a Tobey Maguire cameo. Even if it's for a second, I want one Tobey Maguire cameo.
That would be kind of cool.
And he talks to him for a second. He's like, "Oh yeah, it's tough being a teen. Especially when you're a little different. I know what that's like. Something like that."
Everybody will be like, "Wait, so is this a different Spider-Man? Is this young Spider-Man?"
No, they wouldn't do it. He'd be a teacher.
Different Spider-Man, and then Tobey Maguire's an old Spider-Man that kind of retired. Oh my gosh, Inception!
I think he'd be a good science teacher. He passes in the hallway. That's all I want. That's all I want.
All right.
Calling it now. Right. It's my dream.
Yeah. So I'm glad they went with the young Peter Parker high school instead of college.
Yeah.
Because you know what? I think it adds a cool aspect to the whole Avengers deal. Spider-Man being in there. He's the young kid, kind of the offshoot of the bunch.
Yeah.
So, I like that.
Plus, they had to cast him young because they want to crank out 9 or 10 movies with this kid before he ages out of being Peter Parker.
Sure.
That's why Marissa Tomei is being Aunt May. It's like, oh, it's like a sexy young Aunt May. It's like, yeah, because if you cast an old one, you worry that she's either going to retire or something bad might happen. So it's like
heart attack
or
bad things.
Heart attack or bad things.
I wasn't gonna go into detail because it's sad.
You're sick.
No, I'm excited for it. You know what else? I think we're looking at this image, but we're speculating on what we want to see, and I'm excited for it. Who doesn't like Spider-Man? Everybody likes Spider-Man, but
I know someone who doesn't. But sorry, well, it's our mutual friend Sarah. She hates Spider-Man.
Well, you tell Sarah. I'll tell Sarah. Jump off a high place because that ain't right.
And Spider-Man will catch her, and it would be great
Spider-Man
irony.
will catch her, and the irony will flood over her.
What Joe is saying is that if you don't like Spider-Man, but still don't jump off a high place. Just for the only person.
Disclaimer, that was a joke.
If you don't like Spider-Man, that's okay. Like who you ought to like. We don't care.
We don't judge.
Anyway.
I don't think. Anywho. I feel like, based in high school, all this, one villain, this could be an intimate movie, something that really engages you. Maybe they throw a love interest in there for Peter Parker. I mean, it's Spider-Man, it's Peter Parker. It's always been a part of his storyline. So I'd like to see some of that too. Adds another dimension to the film. So let's hope for those things. More to come on Spider-Man Homecoming, but artwork for this looks pretty good. Yeah. Vulture, I'm primed to see more.
Yeah, you just reminded me of something too, Joe. I forget if they've already cast MJ or Mary Jane. I think so. I wanted it to be Gwen Stacy again, but I think following Emma Stone's really good portrayal, it was kind of hard to, do that again.
But so are they just gonna pretend like Gwen Stacy's non-existent?
Well, they did with the first. They did with the first Spider-Man trilogy. Remember, Gwen Stacy was like in the third movie. She was like way later on, like at college with Peter.
Oh yeah, but she was never a love interest in the beginning, like in the comics or whatnot.
Yeah, Gwen Stacy's typically the first, and then Mary Jane comes after. But Gwen Stacy's usually like kind of more of the main squeeze, if you will. But one thing,
so you do have to admit that the second reboot of Spider-Man with the first reboot, I guess it'd be with Emma Stone and I forget his name already.
Andrew Garfield.
And his name's my favorite cartoon as a kid. Love Garfield.
Oh, it's like Flintstones.
Always getting in that lasagna. Yeah. Anywho, so that's one thing that I like that they did. They introed Gwen Stacy instead of Mary Jane.
Yeah,
I like that.
I think
kind of starting it off early. I think that was a good thing to do.
Make a case that MJ in the first Spider-Man movies was probably like his biggest villain, because not only was she like kind of down on him for most of the movies, but she also got like kidnapped a lot. And this Gwen Stacy actually like took care of herself. She like scared the lizard off at one moment with like a flamethrower she made, like a makeshift flamethrower. I was like, good on you, Gwen. She's smart.
Yeah. Well, hey, you even see that. I mean, you see that in all Superman movies or superhero movies.
Yeah, I was like, Lois Lane's
DC and Marvel alike. Their love interests are always their greatest weakness, because they're the people that are close to them are a weakness, because the villains can attack them. Oh, and they get at them and they ruin, the hero's day, and they're like, you killed my friend, that sort of thing. So it's always their greatest weakness. It's a way to get at them and have leverage over them.
Well, also, right? Lois Lane's a freaking moron. I mean, she's like she's the reason Superman dies, pretty much. Like, and doesn't even...
Just saying, Lois Lane in Smallville is so much better.
Dude, did you know that her dad was a general and that she was an army brat?
Yeah, I heard she took a tank to prom.
Oh, okay. For people who haven't watched Smallville, if you watch like the last couple of seasons, when Lois Lane, she's like season 5 onwards, right? Like halfway through. Yeah. She like constantly tells people that she'll like go into a place as a reporter and be like, my father's a general. Like she'll go into like a battlefield or like into like a military base. Like, my dad's a general. It's okay. And it's like, no, it's not. It's not like you let one of Obama's kids walk into the war room. You're like,
I took a tank to prom.
But
hey, if you haven't seen Smallville, then shame on you.
What you reminded me of, what I was trying to get to a while ago, is that this movie could kind of be, in this franchise, kind of like Harry Potter, in that like there's a lot of crazy stuff happening outside of school, but the driving narrative in a lot of weird ways isn't like who's Spider-Man going to fight next is like, who's Spider-Man going to take to prom? Like, that kind of stuff. Like, that's how some of the Harry Potter movies move along. It's like, who's Harry's love interest right now? Like, what's going on with that? Like, Ron and, like, Hermione are kind of on the outs.
True.
Like,
Not to mention you see a lot of successful, like, TV shows that are geared more towards teens.
Yeah.
That do kind of the same thing, and it's more geared towards their relationships and that sort of thing, and their actual normal person life.
Yeah.
And then they try and mix in the whole that they're a Spider-Man or like Teen Wolf, I think is a good example. Some of those popular shows or some of the CW network shows. Those are successful, and I think if they go a little bit that route, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Not to mention it promises you a bit of longevity for Spider-Man standalones.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's the more you do with that, the better. And as long as it's not, overbearing in any way. Like, I don't want him fighting the Vulture and he's just like, oh yeah, I forgot I really got to call MJ after this. And he gets punched in the face. He could say those things once in a while, but don't let it be. Sure. He's like, I got to get home. I got some science homework to take care of. Like, which he'll probably say something like that
the
too.
Vulture's just like, nerd.
Yeah, because the Vulture... The guy with that backpack or whatever, he's nerd. You're a nerd.
Yeah, explain the backpack, Jimmy.
I don't know if it's a backpack. That's what I'm calling it right now. I know the Falcon's is kind of a backpack. His might be more like you put your arms in the wings type of thing. That's how it kind of looks.
It looks like he's almost got like some handles or something for controls. I would assume his arms have to be free.
I don't know. You think that, but sometimes I don't know. Maybe he's just going to slash a lot with his wings. Maybe that's his melee attack. He's just like slashy,
Looks like he might be a foot guy.
A foot? Oh, like with
he's got a foot fetish. He uses his feet to attack people because he's got those talons.
Sure, yeah.
So maybe it's less a punching, grappling type thing with his hands and more of a, using his feet and his talons to attack.
Well, there's going to be a tumble midair, Joe. They're going to get up really high and they're going to crash into each other and it's like Dr. Octopus and Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2. They're just going to tumble. Doc Ock was great. See, we were talking about you like your biological villains. I think Spider-Man does a good job of showing off, villains that are technologically advanced.
True.
Like Dr. Octopus.
Doc Ock is like a primo Spider-Man villain, though. And they did a good job with him in the Sam Raimi films. So.
Yeah, also...
I always liked him.
I like Green Goblin because he's a little bit of both. He mixes the biological, and then he mixes all the tech. I'm
sorry to say, but when they mangled up that kid in the Garfield series,
the Garfield series, I know exactly what you're talking about. But
yeah, Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man,
amazing Spider-Man movies.
When they amazing Spider-Man. When they mangled up that kid and turned him into the Green Goblin, I didn't mind it. I'm sorry, but I kind of liked it. He was kind of evil looking and monstery. I loved it. I'm sorry, whatever.
He looked like a burn victim.
A little bit, but still.
And that's not, he comes out, he's like, Peter. It's like, you're not intimidating, dude. I just defeated a guy who's pure electricity, and this guy is going to be the villain at the end of this movie? Come on now. I've got a disease, Peter. And guess what?
At least he could have been a little bigger.
Your blood didn't help me the way it did, but thankfully there was this robot suit I could put myself in. Where's your girlfriend? That. Dane DeHaan? No. You were much better in Chronicle. I'm so sorry. You were wasted. Wasted as misused, not wasted as in drunk. But he probably needs to be.
I don't know. What would you have done differently for Goblin? Would you have gone for the complete mech suit like the Sam Raimi deal?
No, there's like a happy medium that they were using a while ago where it's really cool. I think we talked about this in the past, Joe, but they had like the mask on the Green Goblin in like the comic and stuff was like kind of like a pullover, like a plasticky type, but you could like the eyes and stuff would move. And they made a mock-up one that was really terrifying for Spider-Man, but it wasn't ready in time for that. So they went with that kind of Power Rangers helmet kind of mech suit style instead. I think if you took some time and really, I hope Marvel does it, but I think it could be very intimidating. Because the Green Goblin's like the Joker on another level. I know some people will be like, Jimmy, that doesn't make any sense. Joker's at like the top. But Green Goblin's like just as insane as him, but is also like Tony Stark and is also super strong with a ton of weapons. Like, so Green Goblin,
more dangerous.
He's terrifying. The Green Goblin, he'll kill everyone, Like, he doesn't care. Like,
yeah. So clearly, kind of the top of the food chain when it comes to Spider-Man villains. But so I agree with you, Jimmy. I think you're right. I think I kind of like that.
Yeah. But Spider-Man villains, I like them all. They're either animals or usually elements. It's one of the two, typically, unless you're the Green Goblin. And Venom and Carnage.
It's hard to think that they're going to redo some of these characters for Spider-Man with Marvel. And we just saw the Amazing Spider-Man series, and then we saw before that Sam Raimi. It's like a total, like, I gotta put those out of my mind and pretend like those characters never existed, and we're starting fresh.
Yeah, well...
It's hard to do.
It's okay. I think as far as villains go, he's got a lot of them, so you won't see, like, Electro, you won't see Lizard again. For sure, the Amazing Spider-Man villains won't be there. Green Goblin eventually, hopefully.
You gotta.
Yeah,
he's like a staple in the villain series.
We've talked about this.
So.
I've talked about this a number of times, but for people who might be new, here's all you got to do. You do Vulture in this one. You introduce the Goblin. You introduce Harry and Norman Osborn in this one as well. You do Venom in the sequel. Harry is still there. He's friends with Peter, but Norman starts turning into the Green Goblin. And then they kind of tussle just like maybe once, not ever again, but because Venom's the main star. And then they find out about each other. Like, you got Peter who knows about Norman, Norman knows about Peter. And then in the third one, culmination fight in front of Harry. Spider-Man vs. Green Goblin. That's your trilogy right there. That's how you kick it home. Be so good. Right. It'd be so good. They probably won't do it. That's my dream. Get Venom in there, though. Come on, guys.
I can't wait for a Venom standalone.
Yeah, I hope Marvel gets there.
Yeah.
I hope Marvel gets to be overseeing that one. Because I remember we talked about a while ago, those rumors where Sony's like, we're making one that's a complete standalone, has nothing to do with Spider-Man. I'm like, what are you doing?
What the shit?
It's going to be like, people are like, is this Spawn? Is this a Spawn thing? But anyway, that's pretty much all of our major San Diego Comic-Con news that we're covering. Again, there is a ton. If we miss something, if there's something you want us to go over, like in next week's episode, please let us know down in the comments below. But now, Joe, it's time to slip into this little segment, but I keep forgetting the name of it. Do you remember what it is?
No. Oh. Timekillers.
Yes, Timekillers. It's so great. If you don't know what Timekillers is, it's just what Joe and I do in our free time to kill time. I want Joe one day to get a picture of like you and I both like attacking a clock. Like we're trying to,
that's a good
like
idea.
A drawn picture. If anybody's a really good artist out there, here's this.
Yorin, if you're listening.
Yorin's like, I've got stuff to do, guys.
Quick picture of me attacking a clock.
Do it now. After you get done with our Pokemon picture, which I still one day I want to see like you on a couch, Joe, with those Pokemon. You're talking like a Dragonair draped over your shoulders. Except to be like a Ninetales now. You dropped Dragonair for Ninetales, didn't you?
Yep.
Yeah. Pokemon is everywhere.
Psychic fox with 9 tails. Yeah.
Which we'll start.
Breathe fire.
Yeah, I guess that's where we'll start. Is that I don't know, for me, Pokemon Go. We've been playing Pokemon Go a little bit here and there. I've been playing it.
Consuming your life, Jimmy?
It's not. I'm not playing it religiously, but I still like it.
I drove down to Iowa last week because I heard there was a I forgot what it was.
Sure. Really important to you then.
No, it wasn't worth it because I missed it, but it was shoot. It might have been a Gyarados. Yeah, I think they were talking about a pond that was just infested with Gyarados. So.
Oh, really?
Gyarados. So I, took a drive and spent $300 on that trip and came back empty-handed.
I heard something really funny, Joe.
I'm planning a trip to California next week. I hear there's a Snorlax up in the hills near Hollywood.
There apparently something happened in Canada. There was like a Dragonite. There was like Dragonite spawning, and people went berserk like to get there. I think is what it was a news story I heard. It was from this other podcast, which is called Frame Trap by Easy Allies. Go check them out. They're super good. But they were talking about how like in the commercial a long time ago for Pokemon Go, they showed a bunch of people in New York City like trying to battle Mewtwo. And they're joking at the time, like, not that many people would ever do that. But now, like, if they said, yeah, Mewtwo's in Times Square, there'd be way more people than that. There'd be, like, thousands of people.
Wait,
like,
so has anybody found a Mewtwo in Pokemon Go?
I don't know. I think they were going to add him, but I think he was going to be, like, a special event. Like, they're going to be like, all right, Mewtwo's in, like, L.A. from this day to this day or something. I don't know. But Mewtwo would crush a city. Like, people would... roads would stop. Like, people would just park their cars in the middle of highways. Like, Mewtwo's over here. Get over here, guys. I need your help.
Right off Highway 94 over here.
That'd be like the best time if you were just like an alien to come to Earth. And you'd be like, what are they so fascinated with? They're like, we're following their phones around. I gotta get it. I gotta catch them.
What are these people chasing?
I need it so badly. But yeah, Pokemon Go for me a little bit here and there. But I've also been watching Vikings on Amazon Prime. I watched the first episode a long time ago. Didn't really get into it, but gave it another shot. And it's been pretty good to me. So I've been enjoying that. And I've also been playing Life is Strange. It's a episodic kind of story-focused game where you get to make a bunch of decisions that affect those around you with your time manipulation abilities. It's heart-wrenching. I failed to save somebody the other night. Really, it hurt. I was like, no!
It happens, pal. You can't blame yourself.
Yeah, so... But yeah, Joe...
What about that other show you were watching on Netflix?
Oh, Stranger Things. Joe, you gotta watch that and we could talk about it. It's good.
I really want to check that out.
Which I've been labeling my Twitch streams Stranger Things for Life is Strange. So if you want to check out my Twitch, if you want to watch both parts of it, Stranger Things Part 2, people will be like, is this the show?
Can you give me a little synopsis, a little summary? What's it kind of about? Is it supernatural in any way, or are there just people disappearing?
Young boy disappears in Indiana back in the 1980s. There's a government lab nearby, might be or might not be attached to said disappearance. And there have been other sightings and attacks throughout the town. Might be
talking aliens?
We're talking some sort of creature. Still don't even know.
Yes. All right, I'm into it. I'm down. I'm watching it. All right. Thanks for that.
No problem.
You were going to say? My time killers? Are we there?
Yeah, what's your time killer? Time killers.
What's my time killer? Well, number 1, MXGP2. Oh my god, I'm loving that game.
Good.
Like I wanted to buy a motocross bike for quite a while now.
Sure.
And this has appeased my appetite. I'm not going to buy one just yet. I've been looking, but this game is good. This is like simulation style stuff. The only thing I don't like is the whipping. I wish the whipping was more natural.
Yeah.
It's more of a function of the buttons than it is a natural feel.
Oh, because you're trying to ghost ride that whip. So hard to do on the dirt.
Yeah.
Am I using that term right? That's the one where you get out of the car and it still drives itself, right?
Yeah.
And you just kind of walk next to it as it goes slowly down the road.
Yeah, so you ghost whip it. So you just whip the bike off the face and you let it go.
Joe's like, it's way too easy in the game to ghost ride the whips. It's way too easy.
There was one point I landed on top of a guy off of a big jump and it like glitched the game just a little bit. And I literally like was sitting on top of this guy's shoulders for like a whole corner and half a straightaway.
That's
I wouldn't fall off of it.
From watching the game, the biggest problem I have is like when you run into other people, nothing really happens. Like you kind of will bounce off people, like your tire will bounce off their back, and you're just like, I just slipped off of them.
It's a little realistic in that they can actually push you and spin you out, or if you try to undercut them and you really try and dive inside of them in a corner and like use them as a berm, you'll slide out.
But when you land on them, that's what I'm talking about specifically.
But yeah, the landing on them and stuff, that should be a wreck. I really do think it should be. And
an explosion.
I mean, you feel feedback, like you bounce off of them, but you don't wreck, which I feel is a little unrealistic. But other than that, the track, the changing conditions, the ruts that show up, all legit. The scale of everything, perfect. The bikes look like real bikes today.
I think... hold on a sec, Joe. I feel like we've already done this before. I feel like
I
was gonna say I think you've gone through and like said
preach about it because I'm a believer.
Oh my gosh, you're a believer.
So for all you MX fans, Jimmy and I stream a lot of Overwatch, Halo, other things, Life is Strange, some good stuff. But every once in a while on the Go Critical Twitch channel, I like to throw out a little bit of MXGP action.
Yeah.
So check me out. But other time killers I've been on, same thing as lately. I try to catch Game of Thrones on HBO Go whenever I can. I haven't really been into too much else. Nothing. Short on time these days, pal.
That's okay. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That's all right. Well, that does it for time killers. Nothing super new, at least for, I don't know, a couple few new things here and there.
Hold on, Jimmy. I don't think we killed enough time. Hold on, let me come up with something else.
Hardy.
Moving on.
Now it's time to slip. I keep slipping into section or like other parts of the podcast. I know I call it slipping. Like I'm not gonna like.
Hey, you gotta get like some ice pick shoes.
Segue into. I don't know. Cleats. I'm doing a little dance over here. Segueing into questions. We only had one really stellar question this week. So, and it comes from Sean, a.k.a. Fragaden. One of my favorites. One of our favorites.
Sean? Thanks for the question, pal.
It says, Jimmy, since we know that Joe's a big gearhead and loves motocross, what are some interests or passions that you have outside of gaming? #Critical Podcast. Thank you so much.
Nice.
Which is
nice question.
I appreciate it. When I first read the first part, I thought it was going to be like a really in-depth like motocross question. But obviously it addressed me. So outside of gaming, obviously, if you listen to this, you know that I love movies and TV a ton. Those are like my other things. And I'm trying to think of what other things I love to do. When I get the chance, I do love to go like four-wheeling. I've only gone snowmobiling a few times, jet skiing. I love anything.
You've got a jet ski at your
at my cabin. You should totally come up here, Joe. I keep inviting Joe, guys. He will not come. I've invited him for years.
Yeah.
Get that dirty laundry out.
It's a shame. I really want to get up there this summer, and I tell you what, time is a hot commodity that we all will run out of one day, and I wish I could buy more.
Joe has other friends he'd rather see, but that's okay.
That's not it.
Calling you out here. Anyway, this is my question, Joe. How dare you?
Go for it. Yep.
But anyway, I like vehicles that you can drive that you have really no reason to use to get from point A to point B. So that's why all those like come in. It's like, oh, it's just for fun, just a recreational vehicle. Those are all cool to me. I also really love spending time with the family dogs. I'm a huge dog fan. Love dogs. Dog people. I can spot them from a mile away. Not that you can't love cats.
Cat people, he can spot those a mile away too.
Yeah, not that you can't love cats. It's that I've just had some bad interactions with cats and people who are self-proclaimed cat people specifically. Like people who are like, I love cats and dogs. I'm like, all right, but like if you're like just a big dog fan, like large dogs, yes. But also I love going to like the zoo. I kind of have like a back and forth on it. Like I feel like the older I've gotten, I feel worse about some of the animals they put in there. But a lot of the ones that are at my local zoo are more like rescued animals, so I don't feel as bad. I'm like, oh, it's beautiful creatures stuck behind this like glass wall. It just like seems wrong. But I do love going to see all those types of animals I wouldn't normally see and learn more about them. Those are they're just so cool to me. So
I share that with you, pal. I'm all about the zoo.
Yeah, man. So those are probably some of my passions. I can't really think of any others. I don't have anything cool. I've always wanted to really get into like sword play or like kendo or stuff like that, but it gets expensive and there's really no practical application for it besides just like knowing it. Like if a robber broke into my house, I would be like, hold there, I'll get my katana. I'd probably just get him with the knife, my special knife. But
spoon, make it painful.
Oh yeah,
stab
Joe.
And twist, baby, stab and twist.
Attaboy. But yeah, also that reminds me, I do love to go shooting from time to time. I've gone both archery shooting, like once, but I've gone to the gun range a few times. I don't have a gun myself, but I do enjoy just going to shoot at some targets. I'm not very good, and I bet I look terrifying with a gun. Just it's not like, oh, that guy's scary looking. It's like, oh, that person probably can't hold that gun. Like, it's like, there's a lot of weight to that, son, you know? Yeah, keep the barrel up. But yeah, that's a lot of fun to do. If you ever get the chance to go just shooting recreationally, I love doing that. Not a hunter, though. I will say that. If you're like, he likes guns, he likes animals, does he like to hunt? No, I don't. But we'll get into that maybe another day. But those are my passions. Thank you so much to Sean, a.k.a. Fragaden, for the question. And remember, if you do have a question for Joe or myself, just tweet it at us. And I'm at GoCritical. It's all one word, capital G, capital C. And Joe is at
Lever J627.
It's just Lever_627, isn't it?
You're right.
It's at Lever_627. That's Lever, just like Beaver, only with an L. That's what you were supposed to do with the hashtag Critical Podcast. And yeah, if you guys want to see Joe play more of that MXGP Elemental KPRQRS too, you just tweet that at him, and we're trying to eventually get him another Elgato game capture device so you can actually see his face. So if you guys really want to see that, you want to throw us a few bucks down in our PayPal down below. But I think I've kind of gone into our ending with and we're kind of ended the show here now, Joe. We've kind of gotten through it a little bit faster than I thought we would. Was there any
streamline that one, pal?
Yeah, do you have any closing comments before I get into just the rest of it?
Per usual, just hit us up on Twitter and comment on the comment section on the video here, and let us know what you think. Your insight, your thoughts, and opinions. We want to know.
Yeah, and I heard this on another podcast that made a lot of sense to me, and I was like, I'll probably use that too. But it's if you really want to support the show, besides liking, sharing, and subscribing, just share it with like a friend. When I say share it, I mean like if you have someone who might be interested in this, have them give it a listen. If you have an enemy that you really don't like, and you also don't like the show, and you've been listening to it to this point, share it with them. And they'll be like, you'll probably like this, because I didn't. And then maybe you'll make a friend that way. But yeah, so Joe and I are streaming. You can find our Twitch links down below. We're trying to stream most weeknights. It's been kind of hectic here in the summer. I hope when we get into fall, Joe and I can kind of establish, like, I'll be like, all right, Joe's days are like Tuesday, Thursday, and like my days are Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or something like that going forward. I don't know, because Joe and I have talked about, kind of getting him a little more integrated, and I think he enjoys it. He likes having an audience.
I do, definitely.
Yeah, and yeah, for sure. Like you said before, comment down below and let us know what you guys want us to cover in the future, because after this, I'm not sure what other big news events will be coming for a little bit here. This is kind of the big one for right now, but we'll see what happens with the weeks to follow. So thank you to, obviously, I forgot to mention this at the top, but thank you to Your Nevers for our amazing artwork. Go check out his Instagrams, popping up right now probably. And thank you to This Is Daleb for our theme music, which I still very much love. So, again, thank you, everybody. Take care, and we'll see you next time.